the wonderful, the talented, the hilarious Amanda Gail is back. She, as usual, while a co-producer of many a fun thing, did not send me any of her plugs where she's appearing. So I'm going to let her do it out of her own cute little mouth hole. One of our favorite comics. She can tell us after we do our comics. There we are. There she is. How are you, Ms. Hoboken?
I am doing great now that I'm here with you guys. I miss you guys so much.
Oh, we miss you too.
I don't believe any of that. That did not sound sincere.
I have my fingers crossed behind my back.
Where can we see you?
Oh, where can you not see me?
Sites are we talking about?
I'm at New York Comedy Club on Sunday. I have a show at The Stand Wednesday.
Awesome.
With everyone's favorite, Karen Margolis.
Oh, yes. Wait, I might come to that. That sounds awesome.
Wait, do you mean like tomorrow?
Yes, tomorrow's Wednesday. You're right.
Oh, I'm totally going to go to that. What time?
It's at 9 p.m. at The Stand. It's at
I'm old, but I can maybe you know what? I'll make sure to set 5 alarms the next morning. Yes, okay. I'm in. I want to see that.
It's going to be an amazing lineup. We have Rich Voss, Mike Cannon.
Love Rich Voss.
Yeah, I mean the great Rich Voss. Who doesn't love him? And then Mike Cannon, Cypher Sound. We have a great lineup. Proceeds go to St. Jude's Hospital, which all of mine and Karen's shows go to St. Jude's Hospital, and check out my schedule. I'll also be at New York Comedy Club February 28th. I'll be at New York Comedy Club this Sunday, 5 p.m. So check out. I have all my link in bio of all my upcoming show dates. But the big plug is the Audacity, which is for charity show. So
go to that for the charity and for the fun.
Yeah,
and for the cute, funny girls. No, that sounds great. I would actually like to do that. I haven't been to the Stand in a while, actually.
So this is a Reddit thread. It's my favorite kind of debate, Amanda. This one woman made a little girl cry by making her move from the window seat. It was the seat that this woman had booked. The 22-year-old said she reserved a window seat for her 9-hour-long international flight. Once she boarded the plane and reached the correct aisle, she saw a young child was in her space, and the girl's father was in the middle seat. There's our graphic. The man stared at the woman and said, "She's a child," before pointing at the open aisle seat, implying the woman should sit there instead. But she insisted on taking her pre-booked space, which sent the little girl into a flood of tears.
Oh, God.
Meanwhile, the woman is now sitting in the window seat, and she says, "I'm in my seat. I'm also sitting back so the girl can see out the window." And then her dad has made 1 or 2 snide remarks about me wanting my seat. So I just want to know, am I the asshole for insisting on sitting in my seat? A bunch of Redditors came to comment, one saying if the father wanted their child to have a window seat, they should have selected one. Another wrote, "What is this epidemic of people assuming they can take another person's assigned seats? The seats can have different prices and can be selected ahead of time. The father can keep his snide remarks to himself." Another wrote, this is my favorite, "Kids don't get special treatment on planes just because they want to see out the windows." And this is a good one. "You sound like you don't have much traveling experience yet. There will be so much manipulativeness and emotional blackmail trying to game you out of a better seat that you've paid premium for. Get used to it and learn to politely hold your ground."
That's true, too.
Now, Amanda, would you let this little girl sit in your seat, or would you make her move?
I would absolutely not give up my seat for that little girl. I am a grown woman. I booked the seat. But I would, for that whole flight, I would send thoughts and prayers to whoever ends up marrying that girl or ends up having to be work with that girl.
Yeah.
That girl is going to blackmail you for Gone Girl you. Okay, that's girl. She's going to be a nightmare to society.
Aren't they all like that now? Like, and especially, they're all such spoiled little pussies, but like, 9 times out of 10, any type of situation you present in one of those type of columns, people are just going to immediately side with the kid. Because kids, I believe children are our future, something along those lines. Not flying, never flying. Not even a new little baby gets any remote sympathy on a flight.
Now,
there should be no kids on flights, period.
Bill, when I read this story, I immediately thought Bill would just sit in the aisle seat.
Well, I would sit in the aisle seat because I prefer aisle seats. What part of duty free did this girl
Okay,
not get?
well.
Close the bathroom.
If the child was in your aisle seat, would you make the child move? I feel like you you take care of dogs that aren't yours. You would probably let this child have your seat. Am I
That
wrong?
dog took a giant dump on my floor this morning.
Oh, God.
It's 5. All right. Here's my answer to that. I would like to think that I would not, if it was a really long flight and I had to deal with both the fucking annoying parents and the kid the whole time, I might acquiesce just because it would be worse a flight for me to deal with them
Yeah.
in my chosen seat than vice versa.
Yeah.
I mean, fuck principle. I just want a good flight.
Yeah.
They're going to keep doing this to somebody else. These people are going to win. They're
Yeah.
going to make his life miserable at a restaurant. The waiter, they learn that they're reinforcing this behavior. And these people are assholes.
I agree with you, but here's the thing. With flying these days, there's no winning. There's no winning. There's various degrees of losing. And my degree of losing would be higher if I had to deal with that little shit and her even shittier parents versus just changing the seat. Like, it's all losing. It's just how much you want to lose.
Here's a scenario that I think is even worse. I heard this woman's story on TikTok, where I get all my news.
Apparently.
And this woman was flying, I think, from New York to Arizona for the Super Bowl. And there was a family, a mother, a father, and a 5-year-old daughter.
Ugh.
And they all their seats were separate. And so there was a woman in an aisle seat. The child was placed next to her in the middle, and the father was one row up in the middle.
Smart man.
And the woman asked, "Hi, I don't mind switching seats with you so you can sit here with your daughter." And he said, No, you have an aisle seat. You stay.
Of course.
Just let me know if she gets annoying or whatever. Well, this flight was, I think, over 3 hours. And this woman is now having to babysit this child.
This guy's
She
brilliant.
has to get her juice. She's answering all of this child's questions about flying in the plane. She's making sure she has snacks, giving her some of her own snacks. And she's like, I didn't know what to do in this scenario.
What a good con. Hey, game respects game. That's a great con. That is a free in the air babysitter, and she fell for it.
Yeah.
Although she had the option, let me know when she gets annoying. Sounds to me like she got annoying before Wheels Up.
I would have immediately been like, all right, time to switch.
Yeah. She had an out. She wasn't assertive.
Yeah.
Like me, apparently. I mean, Amanda, have you had many, any recent child-related or maybe not even child-related horror stories with regards to air travel? Because I don't think you can do air travel now without having a horror story every single time.
Yeah. The last time I flew, there was this very young baby just like kicking and screaming in the aisle, screaming. And the mother insisted that you have, because the flight attendant's like, you got to get him out of the aisle. He has to sit in a seat. And she's like, give me 5 minutes. And the woman's like, we don't have 5 minutes. And she said, you made us, because the flight was delayed, you made us wait, like, let him have 5 minutes. And the kid is screaming and kicking in the aisle, screaming, I want to go home. I want to go home.
Oh,
and
God.
the mother is like, let him ride it out. And this was like a mama bear, where if like anyone looked at her the wrong way, she was going to like, so I guess the flight attendant acquiesced, like you said, and she was right. The kid rode the tantrum out, and then he was great the rest of the flight. So I don't know, but it was annoying in the moment because it's like, dude, like, no, pick up your kid, teach your kid. He can't just ride his tantrum out. And
Yeah.
No one put a gun to this woman's head to have that little shit. And then for her to have
I don't know her.
And yeah, maybe she's from Putin's Russia. Who knows? Maybe there was a gun to her head. They ain't populating any other way. But and then to subject us, you've already made the shitty kid. Okay, you make your bed, you sleep in it. You got a shitty kid. That sucks. But then to inflict that upon already weary and angered and tired air travelers is just such a sin.
I'm shocked how parents aren't embarrassed anymore.
They're not at all.
I would be
They never have been.
so embarrassed by poor behavior from my child. And I think that just speaks about my character in the sense that I hate making other people uncomfortable. So I just feel like my child existing would make people uncomfortable.
So what you're saying is you're pro hitting babies.
No.
That's kind of what you're saying. I think what you're saying. No, you're saying that you must discipline the crying with a little smack or a big one.
No. How about like
a cold cock in the baby?
Metaphorical smack.
Yeah, but you don't know what metaphorical means.
I actually don't.
Yeah.
A Harvard-trained
All
psychologist
this must go.
who works with couples says they've seen relationships go quickly downhill when one or both partners speak to each other with contempt. And there are
Are you sure this is a duddy?
There are 8 toxic phrases that reveal your relationship is in trouble. Now, this is at CNBC if you want to look at everything, but I'll go over a few of the standouts. If you notice any of these phrases coming from you or your partner, your relationship is in trouble.
Thank you, guys.
1, you don't deserve me. I mean, I say that every day. Basically, that reflects contempt, communicating to your partner that you believe they are less than you, which can damage their self-esteem. I say they just gotta raise
learn.
their own self-esteem. Number 2, stop asking if I'm okay. Everything is fine when it isn't. Passive-aggressive language keeps partners from talking about their problems in a direct and open way. Number 3, you're pathetic. That does seem a little toxic. That's a little on the nose.
That could be taken the wrong way.
Yeah. Number 4, even less passive, more aggressive. I hate you. Sure, that seems a little problematic.
Pretty blunt.
Number 5, these just keep getting worse.
You're a bad parent.
You're a bad parent. Partners know each other's insecurities. Yeah, make your kids sit in their aisle seat, honey.
I was going to say, anyone who brings them on a plane. I say that.
Number 6, you're being crazy. Language that manipulates or twists reality with the intent of making your partner doubt themselves is called gaslighting. One of my favorite words.
I hate that word.
Number 7, you're so needy. Instead, you should say, I hear that you want my attention, but I'm feeling suffocated and need some space. That's a little wordy, so I understand that you're needy. And number 8, I'm over this. Language that threatens the end of your relationship, like I'm leaving, I'm done, or I want to break up, the blunt version, creates instability and insecurity.
This seems pretty straight. Yeah, I mean, this stuff.
Yeah. So, Amanda, are there certain phrases that you have found to be super toxic or problematic or just revealing it's the beginning of the end?
When they say, I don't want to date you anymore.
Yeah.
I'm like, that is pretty toxic. Wow. I should have gone to Harvard. Can a Harvard-trained psychologist decipher that for me? I don't know what that means. They say, don't text me. I don't like you. That's pretty.
That might as well be on this list. I mean, all the rest of them were pretty much just as blunt.
Right? It's like, wow, you need to be a Harvard-trained psychologist to figure what that means,
Yeah, maybe.
I do think I do see like there are dismissive things to say. Like saying you're so needy is so dismissive, and that's not as clear cut. I mean, saying someone you're a bad parent, like I hate you, yeah, that's pretty like clear that you're being toxic. But it's the being so needy. You're kind of like gaslighting someone and not listening to what they're saying. You're dismissive. Dismissive phrases I've heard, and they're not good.
Well, and I'm trying to think of a scenario in which someone might say that. Let's say there's a girlfriend texting her boyfriend. The boyfriend isn't answering the texts.
Right.
So she's like, answer me, where are you? Or texting again. And if the boyfriend were to say, you're so needy, his saying that is to try to get her to get off his back.
Yeah.
Or try to put it on her when really he could possibly be cheating or doing something nefarious.
Right.
And doesn't want to cop to it.
Right.
Yeah.
You're not needy. You have needs. You have emotional needs. You have love languages. These are real things that you need. And a partner that's emotionally available will listen and be, will not dismiss you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, the little whole comments I made earlier that will be stricken from the record, notwithstanding, I would feel like I would know better than to say any of those things. Those seem like just throwing a match into a a big old bucket of gasoline. Any one of those comments.
That and calm down. Calm down is another one where
I
it's
was
like,
gonna say that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that one is.
calm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, but I feel like this is a very gender biased list. Those all strike me as ones that would piss women off more than men.
Yeah.
Men, like if you go after the masculinity, a woman calling a guy a pussy, that's rough stuff.
Yeah.
Like stuff like that. Like if if the woman calls a guy a needy, they immediately are like, oh, I shouldn't be needy, and they'll probably not be as needy anymore as a
Yeah.
result, because it just sort of goes at the core of not being enough of a dude, I guess, or something along those lines. But all of those seem like more they're directed to women, and like the crazy thing, you never say the C word to a girl. That's just that just gets more crazy. I mean, you're usually accurate, but you don't say it.
Yeah.
And then that C word just becomes
You know
more
what?
C.
You know what, Bill? My favorite comedian, George Carlin, says that men are stupid and women are crazy, but women are crazy because men are stupid.
I like that. I'm not going
That's
to argue.
George Carlin.
I am not going to argue. That's not too shabby. R.I.P. By the way. Did you see the documentary? What was it? Netflix or HBO? Might have been HBO. Judd Apatow did it. I think it was Apatow.
Yeah.
It was so good. Loved it. 2-parter. You should check it out.
Sure. I'm still on my murder and child abduction docu phase, but
Please, you mean your whole life?
once I watch all of those, I'll move on.
So never.
There's
That's-
a lot. There's a lot.
You've been
So
in this.
many.
You've
So
been in
many
this phase for your entire life.